What drew you to this? I mean, what was sort of the attraction?
What didn't? Well, it's interesting. I decided that I wasn't going to take any more jobs until I, A, run out of money, or B, find something like this that I could excel at. I do a lot of action stuff, and I think what it is with me is like, I like swinging a sword, don't get me wrong. I like swinging a sword, I love being in Thor, and I love some of the other jobs that I've done, but I really haven't had a great opportunity in a long time to show. But yeah, I think honestly, I read the script, I met with the creators, and I was like, how can I not do this? And I was scared because I was like, man, do I really want to commit to a show that could potentially go for like 7 years? And then I thought, you know what, if it's the right thing, I'm just going to be satisfied all the time. And it's really been the right move. And I was so glad that, again, I trusted my gut, which brings me to another point of, that's all Jane has is gut instinct and intuition. She doesn't have a past yet that she can remember. And so I just sort of mirrored my own life in a way of just trusting my gut instinct and intuition. And that's what I brought to the character because I don't know who she was yet.
How do you feel about time you have to spend getting the tattoos applied? I mean, is that
I actually really like it. I'm not going to lie, because there's always some sweet person that's like, can I get you a latte? I'm like, sure. And then we stand, in my trailer, and we put on, the only thing on it, we have 2 channels in the trailer right now. One is like some, news channel that's just sad. So I'm like, I'm not watching that. And then the other channel has Daniel Boone reruns at 3:30 in the morning. Best Parker.
That's when you guys would watch it.
We would watch it, and we were just so obsessed with it. And I was like, this is the best show ever. It's so corny and so great. And it was, and so we'll do that. And then our good luck station is the Beatles on Pandora, which weirdly in the pilot they mention, for instance, she knows what music is but doesn't remember the Beatles. And I go, that's creepy, because that was our good luck station when we were putting on the tattoos and the test. So then we just started playing that all the time, because the 2 times we didn't, the tattoos started coming off. I was like, this is weird. I was like, we just have to leave it. So we have our own things. And then I can't sit down during the 7 hours, so it gets a little tough. I have to keep my body in like almost a mannequin stance because it'll move my skin, so the tattoos won't fit if I bend forward or straighten too much. So we'll take breaks in between. I'll lay on the floor and put my legs up the wall to get the blood coming back down. But it's fun. Those guys are awesome. We talk about their kids and take stupid pictures and watch dumb videos and podcasts. So yeah, it could be worse. It's a lot of fun.
You talk about you've had a lot of physical roles before.
Yeah.
This would seem to be like on a whole new level, even despite the fact you've done feature films.
Yeah.
So how insane has that been, sort of?
Well, a lot of my roles in the past have had swords or knives or something like fancy. A lot of flourishes. I'm on a wire flipping in the air. This one is straight up like hand-to-hand combat, which is funny because growing up I was essentially the captain of my high school wrestling team. I have 4 brothers and I'm from Texas. That should just tell you a lot.
You were seriously the captain?
Yeah. Well, not the whole time. I kind of got. There's this other girl that decided she wanted to be the captain. I was like, go ahead. But I had a great time doing that, and I realized there's something in me that can do that really well. So then, weirdly, I come to Hollywood, and they're like, we want you to beat up people in movies. I was like, okay. So I started doing that, but this fighting's different. This is realistic fighting, so if there's this, or this, I could use something around me that would, as we would if somebody broke in our home, we'd grab the sharpest, biggest thing next to us and try to beat the crap out of them. I would, but... So this is all hand-to-hand combat, so it's a lot harder. It's using elbows, knees, wrestling moves. There's nothing fancy. I'm not flying through the air. I'm taking a beating. I have like several bruises on my body right now. But I have a great double who's doubled me since Kyle XY. She's amazing. She's literally my twin, and she's from Australia, and they're all crazy, so they'll do anything. And she's a survival expert, actually. She wrote a book. She's pretty much the female Bear Grylls, so she's a great partner to have on this. And so we've both been doing Navy SEAL training and gun training and a lot of like hand-to-hand combat that would make sense for somebody my weight, my size, to take down whoever the opponent is, so that it is all realistic. It's not any of the fancy superhero fighting at all. It's pretty brutal.
So speaking of crazy Australians, though, you're also standing next to Sullivan, who came off, Strike Back, which is such
he's
an
so
intense
Australian.
show. Are you guys trading action pointers at any point?
No, but there's a scene that's going to come up where we are, I guess you could say, sparring, and it's going to be pretty interesting. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
He's humongous. I feel like all the Australian dudes are just giants. I don't know what they eat over there. Like Hemsworth is like 6'4" and Liam's 6'5". They're just massive people. But Yeah, he comes from, that show Strike Back, where he's got a lot of weapons training and things like that, which is really great. So, yeah, I mean, sometimes we'll trade some pointers, but his style of fighting will be a right hook, whereas I have to actually put my entire body weight into an elbow because he's so much bigger.
Yeah.
So the fighting style is a little different, but fun. Yeah.
How much have you been told in terms of who she is? Did they tell you anything? Do you want to know when you're preparing?
It's funny. I got pitched the first season, and it's really awesome. And I know that certain things will change as we go along, depending on like locations or whatever it is for television. But there's so many loose ends that end up getting tied together. And Martin Garrow does it so well. He's so good at putting all the puzzle pieces where they all make sense. So you're not like, wait a second, there's no way that could happen. It's all possible. So I've been told a few things, but I still haven't been quite told who exactly she was. And that is going to happen this season. It's just that I kind of am like, I don't really need to know yet. Maybe later. Yeah.
Does it make her a challenging character to play? Most people, they've got memories which you fall through, but she's more of a blank slate. I mean,
yes, it is challenging. I mean, she is such a blank slate that there's, again, but it just paves the way to be so vulnerable and just want that connection because she does feel uncomfortable. I mean, there's these things where she's like, I don't know who I am. I don't know why I have to sit in this cold room at this table and nobody will help me because you guys are all on the same team and it's like I'm like the lone wolf over here. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad because I think instinctually, what ends up happening is that she hears a woman being hurt and her first instinct isn't like, it's like, oh God, I have to do something and I don't know what I can do, but I can't let that doesn't sound right. So even though she probably cannot remember seeing a woman get hurt, that sound sparks something in her gut that's like, that's not okay. And so she goes upstairs and the first thing she says is like, she says "Gomea," which is Mandarin or Cantonese for what is this or what's going on. And when she realizes she's pushed this door open and she sees the woman, she's thinking like, uh-oh, because this is not. I don't know. She didn't know what she was walking into, but her gut said, I have to help somebody. So that's the first clue in my book as to who she is that she is a good person. Like deep down, if she wasn't in her past, I don't know yet. But if she wasn't in her past, she is now. Like as a blank slate, like. She is a good human being, and then she just so happens to have these reflexes, and she doesn't want to hurt these people. She keeps saying, "Hey, no, please, she's hurt. She needs to come with me. I don't want to hurt you guys." And they start to hurt her, and she has no other option. And I think it scares her when she sees what she can do. It really bothers her because it's not in her nature, I think, to hurt somebody at all. Which is interesting.
So much of the pilot, you did have the action scene in that particular scene, but so much of the pilot, we see you just being kind of paralyzed mentally, emotionally. Can you talk about shooting that?
It was fun. I mean, I'm that person that can like bawl my eyes out on the floor and then get up and be like, "Who wants pizza?" Like it just doesn't. I don't have to. I'm not method. Like I don't take that home or anything. So I'm lucky that way because half the characters I play are really like messed up. But it was fun, and Mark Pellington is such a great director. We have him on this episode that we're doing now, and he's a creative director on the show, so he chooses a lot of the directors that are going to be doing the episodes. And he just can pull performances out of people that are just so good. And he just walked up to me at one scene where I'm ripping my clothes off looking in the mirror, and he said, "Do you know what loss feels like?" And it's just how he said it. I was like, yeah, I can tell you've lost something, because it was so heavy that I went in front of the mirror and I just felt devastated, because I do know what that feels like. And it's not that I'm reminding myself of something that happened, but it's just you sympathize because you think, Jesus, man, this woman is like in so much trouble. She just needs like a partner, like human connection. Even though we all think we're like these, badass people and we can do everything alone, really we're all meant to be connected. So that's the great premise for the show. Yeah.
Even though it's not a superhero show, do you feel like Jane is kind of an answer to, people are complaining about the fact there aren't enough strong female characters?
Yeah.
Is she?
I think she's the answer to that, because a lot of times when they have strong female characters, they have to be superheroes, otherwise it's not believable. And that's where in this show we're really, really making it to where everything that I'm doing on that show I could actually do in my life if I was trained enough. All the movements, again, with the fighting, I could take out somebody. I know how to get a pistol out of somebody's hand. Like, there's things that she can do because she knows how to do them, that I can use my speed and my body weight, I could never knock somebody out as big as Sullivan with a right hook, ever. Like, it just is not possible. So with that, we again wanted to make it like all these things that could happen. Somebody could tattoo somebody could put someone in a body bag, and somebody could inject. There is a PTSD. I don't know if it's a serum or a pill, but they do use these methods. It's like, shock therapy from the 50s or whatever. These things exist. And this could happen to someone. And that's the freaky thing. And that's why we've been very careful with the way we've arranged the fights, her abilities, what she can do and what she can't do. It's all extremely realistic. And that's what I think I love so much about it. Yeah.